When we look at nature, we see a beauty that can never be duplicated. One of the ingredients to that beauty is balance. A balance of dry versus wet, highlight versus shadows, trees versus grass, and predators versus prey. The most consistent way to keep predators balanced is with dogs. There are 3 roads that lead to the same destination. There are 3 players seeking to achieve one goal. Why do I hunt? It's who I am.
Where do I find the passion? It's in my blood.
How do I keep going? It's what I live for.
We are the wildlifers.
Bear hunts are just so much fun. I think I'm more of a predator hunter than I am of anything else because I like, taking care of the deer population and making sure that I'm doing a good job, in conservation. And actually just going on a bear hunt with dogs is so much fun. They love their job. It's just like sweet music to your ears.
Dustin and I aren't getting to go on the hunt this time, but Stephanie's getting to take Race, and she's been looking forward to it for a year, so I'm really excited for her to be able to go out there and show Race what it's all about.
It's one of his first ever hunts that he's got to do. He's done a little bit of hunting here around the ranch, but to go on a hunt and shoot a bear, he is so excited, and I am even more excited to take him.
Well, my mom invited me to go on a New Mexico bear hunt this year. I'm pretty excited about it. I've never been on a bear hunt before. I've never even seen a bear in person. As far as expectations go, I say I'm pretty limited, being that I've never seen a hunt. I've only heard about it through word of mouth through my mom or Dan or friends of mine who've gone, so I don't really know what to expect. I just know I'm excited.
I've been on this hunt a couple of times, and it is so exciting. It is such a cool hunt to see these dogs work. So I know Race is going to be in for a real treat because he understands dog hunting, and this is as good as it gets.
If there's anything that I hope Race takes away from this hunt, it's the importance of why we hunt bears and why we hunt them with dogs. Not only is it fun, it's conservation, and I hope he learns that.
She's been talking about it since who knows when, of getting Race out there and showing him one of her favorite things to do, and if they're lucky enough to get a bear, which I think they probably will, she'll be overly excited for Race. Anytime she can do anything with any of the boys, she's all about it.
I love being in New Mexico. I think it's so pretty, but being here on the UU Bar Ranch, this place is just beautiful. It is just stunningly breathtaking. And I get to hunt with a great friend, Bill Heck.
We're at UU Bar Ranch, 12 miles south of Cimarron, New Mexico. I think I met Stephanie at the Teal Ranch the first time. have to be 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. Just a wonderful person, had a good relationship with her.
I met Bill a few years back on a bear hunt with his good friend Hap, and Hap unfortunately passed away. And I can see it in Bill's face. Those were best friends, and Hap was a wonderful man, and I'm just blessed by knowing him. The lodge that the UU Bar has is really beautiful. I mean, it's just so spacious, they have great food. I get a whole entire room to myself. I don't have to share with anybody, and it's a nice sized room. It's like being at home and hunting. It's awesome.
It's probably one of the most gorgeous ranches I've ever seen, besides the Melon, of course. I mean, there's mountains everywhere, everything's green, green grass, cows are eating, there's animal, wildlife everywhere. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
At this present, probably 150 to 60,000 acres, and it's probably the most wonderful cattle and game hunting ranch that there ever was. I just loved every minute of it.
I am so ready to get this started.
Wildlifers is brought to you by Melon Creek Outfitters, raising standards, not fences. Barnes Precision Machine, USA made with unmatched performance. Wise Eye Smart Feeders, feed the guest, zap the pest, shut out the rest. OnX Hunt, where the pavement ends, OnX begins. We are the Wildlifers. There is a bond between mother and child that no man can fully grasp. Imagine that bond mixed with taking your child to experience something that you are so deeply passionate about.
It's our first morning. There is just excitement in the air. We're collaring the dogs. I am ready for the day.
Well, we're finally about to set up to go hunt. We drive out to this field, and I'm very excited. Anticipation's killing me.
I think Grace is very excited. I mean, this is his first hunt. He likes being here. I can just see the excitement on his face.
Wasn't really sure about how they hunted the bear, but they like to hunt around the ponds, being that the area surrounding the pond is wet, so it's a good place for a track to hold. So Bridger can spot tracks easier around the ponds and send his dogs on the fresh scent.
We always like to check ponds so that we can see if there's any fresh tracks around there. Maybe the bear's watered recently. So it's a good idea just to look for good sign for the bear. We found a good track. Now it's time to let the dogs get on it and see where things go.
We turn the dogs out, and they're actually starting a bear.
They're on the trail. They are after it. You can hear the excitement in their voice, and you can tell that they are on the bear.
They move down to the bottom of this canyon. We can hear it like it's fresh because it's echoing up to where we are. We realize it's going to be pretty tough to get down to him, being that the canyon is so steep.
Just up and on that other side. They are in the bottom.
We can tell that they are hot on the tracks. They are getting close to getting a tree because you can just tell the excitement in their voice. You can tell how close they are. We walk to the edge of the tree line and we see how thick it is. We're fixing to get down in that stuff.
So we finally get down to the bottom of the canyon. And we get to where the bear is. The dogs are barking all around. And I finally spot my first bear.
Walking down, we can hear the excitement in the dogs, so we know it is treed. And we're doing our best to go through this stuff and get to the tree, and we realize it's a sow.
I've never seen one in my life, and now I'm looking one in the eyes.
Even though we're hunters, we still believe in conservation on all levels. It's best to let the females go.
It is unarguably a fact that in order to achieve a better balance where predators are concerned, the dogs are absolutely the most effective way.
A lot of people look down on hunting with dogs. They think it's an unfair advantage, but I think the contrary. It is really the only way of actual catch and release for something.
The law of survival is that's where the babies come from, is the female bears, and so we don't like to kill the females. You know, that's what keeps the bear population alive. You know, I just grew up, and the man I've hunted with, that was his philosophy, and mine too. I never did like killing a female of any kind.
Seeing the bear that close was absolutely breathtaking. I mean, I've never even seen a bear, and then to just walk up on him and finally spot him at 15, 20 yards was just ridiculous. I mean, it was breathtaking for me to see that animal.
You know, if you do get to something, you don't have to shoot it. You can let it go. And that's what we decided to do with this sow. We just let her go. The dogs worked really good today. They're tired. We're gonna give them a rest, and we'll call it a day.
This segment is brought to you by Barnes Precision Machine, USA made with unmatched performance. He's heard the stories and seen the videos all of his life. I don't think any of that has prepared him to be this close. To be so close that he can see the details in the eyes, that he can hear the bear breathe and literally smell the fury. Welcome to the Wildlifers.
So it's the beginning of the second day, and we turned the dogs loose kind of down in a valley, and it wasn't long, and the dogs hit on a really good trail.
Treat. Sounds like it. So I've been hunting with Dan plenty of times, running his hounds, but it was really cool to me to see the dogs work up and down hills and canyons and mountains and hearing the echoes. Next thing I know, we're running up this mountain trying to get close to him.
When you hear that sweet sound of a dog's voice and you know they have a bear treed, it's exciting. It's time to get in there and find out what we got. We started out the hike in the valley, so it was a fairly easy walk, but it wasn't long until we came into some really thick stuff with some huge boulders, trying to scale across that stuff and get down to where the bear and the dogs are. Well, it wasn't easy.
So I'm staying my way behind Bridger, being that he's supposed to be the expert on the hunt. So I try to stick as close to him as possible, even though I'm turning around and I'm not seeing anybody behind me, including my mother. I
say forget about this big brush. I'm gonna take an easier route. I'm gonna go down and around and try and find a better path. And I do. I find a better path and I get to the bear first. So we treated a bear right off the bat this morning, and it's definitely a boar, so I'm gonna take him. The dogs worked good, went straight to him. So we're gonna get set up. There is just nothing better than getting to a tree and looking up and seeing a big bear. Since the old mama got to the tree first, that means I get to shoot first. Okay, here we go.
Good shot.
Give me another one, give me another one, give me another one. Thank you. Whew, that was nervous. Bear comes crashing down. I am so excited. I think I'm more excited for Race to see this bear than I am for me to get over there and look at it. It was just, he was huge. He got bigger as we got closer to him. It was so amazing.
being able to hunt with my mom is always memorable no matter what, but being able to see my first bear hunt live with her, it just meant the world to both of us.
Getting to do something like this with your son is just, oh, it's just awesome. It is truly awesome. What a blessing. The dogs had a great race, but we don't want to overwork the dogs, so we took the rest of the day off, and we're going to start fresh again in the morning.
In what year was the black bear designated the official New Mexico state animal? A, 1925, B, 1947, C, 1953, D, 1963. This segment is brought to you by Wise Eye Smart Feeders. Feed the guest, zap the pest, shut out the rest. In what year was the black bear designated the official New Mexico state animal? A, 1925, B, 1947, C, 1953, D, 1963. In the year 1963, New Mexico designated the black bear the official state animal. Among New Mexico, it is also a symbol of West Virginia, Louisiana, and Alabama. Tradition. A tradition is a custom or belief passed on to others. Mother and son hunting, father and daughter guiding. Tradition is being lost in today's society, but it's still alive and well in the hunting industry.
It's a new morning. We're walking the ponds again. We find a really good track. Bridger's working with his dogs, trying to help him get on the track, and all of a sudden they hit.
They drop down the edge of the canyon, and we're following them around, and we're just watching them hunt off the edge of the ridge. We can hear the dogs running towards us, so we decided to get set up in a position to where if we see the bear, we can take a shot. So I'm waiting and waiting some more, and finally we see the dogs, but there's no bear.
The dogs are kind of scattered out. You can tell they're not directly on the trail of this bear. Not working in our favor right now.
So Bridger decides he's gonna go down and get the dogs and just call it a day for him. And as we're walking back to the truck, we spot a bear not 200 to 300 yards away from us.
215 yards from him right now.
We quickly get in position and get Ray set up so he can take a shot on this bear.
So we're set up, and he's walking away from us still, and he goes behind a cedar tree, and I thought I missed my shot. You know, I thought he'd stop, but he never did, and I thought this was it.
So a bear walked behind the cedar, and I'm not real sure if Race has a good shot at this, and even if the cameraman can see it. So I do the check right quick, you know, as a cameraman, can you see it? Race, you got a shot? Yes, let's do this.
Got him.
Race takes his shot, and I see this bear flip, and I know he's hit him. I am so excited for him.
Knocked him down.
So when I pulled the trigger, I felt pretty good about it, but as I looked up from the scope, I saw that he was running the opposite direction, so I wasn't sure if I made a good enough shot.
I know Race was excited to go on a bear hunt with dogs, and to see my hunt the day before and all the excitement of the tree, I'm sure he was a little let down that he shot his on the ground and it didn't tree and he didn't get to get close to it and see it alive, but heck, it's his first hunt, and I know he enjoyed it, and it was a memory of a lifetime.
So we finally get up to him, and I can finally exhale because I realized I made a good shot and I didn't wound a good bear. I'm getting pretty excited. I mean, I didn't know what kind of bear it was gonna be, being that it happened so fast, But as I'm getting up to him, he's really growing on me.
That was a heck of a hunt.
Yeah, that was cool. We're fighting rain and mosquitoes and wind and everything, and we finally got one.
I know. Be able to spot one and stalk them like that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
I like hunting on my dogs, but I mean, that's pretty special to get one to spot and stalk. I mean, his color is beautiful. I just love it.
So the other two bears we saw were both really dark, black colored. This one, he had some pretty cool hair features. He had like a mohawk on his back and he had a beautiful red tint. It was a really cool bear.
I just feel so blessed to, you know, see Ray's expression on his face and knowing that he made a good shot. And I'm telling you, I'm on cloud 9.
I'm excited for them. It's great that they got to go do that. I wish I'd have got to go along, but I'm very much looking forward to going with them in the future.
So the entire trip was just surreal. I mean, the UU Bar is an absolutely beautiful place. The people are great. Bridger, Mr. Heck, they're a lot of fun to hunt with. And being that it was just filled with excitement the entire way. Being that my mom was right there by my side just made it all that better. I mean, it meant the world to both of us that she could show me new things and show me just what she's been doing since I've been in college the past 4 years.
I'm hoping there's going to be many, many more first hunts for him in his future. It's a memory I will have forever.
Closed captioning by Vault Aviation, a different kind of whitetail.
Ooh, she's eating it.
Do you think we got my first hog bait?
Hog? We're on the wrong hunt. I feel like I've seen people's feet that look like that.